And hello and welcome. 8 o'clock Friday, and I have another guest. Please introduce yourself. Tell everyone about yourself.
My name is Bree, and I have the Instagram page lesbcookin, which is just kind of food page, review restaurants. There's recipes. We look at a product every week, an Irish product, and try and give it a little bit of a boost. And sometimes I review wine as well. So that's what I do. I've had it since about 2019.
Okay. What made you start it?
So a few years ago, I did a food course. So I was constantly posting pictures of food. I was kind of bombarding everybody on my personal page. So I decided that I'd, make a separate food account. And that was it, really.
Okay. So what made you get interest into food? Is it from your mother or father? Is it something personal?
Yeah, so my mum is a really good cook. So I've always kind of been cooking with her. Always enjoyed food. Kind of had wanted to be a chef for a while, but didn't go down that route. So I did a little course, a year course into professional food cookery. And I think that's just started to enjoy it even more. So I've been really passionate about food for a long time now. So I thought the page would be a good way for people to discuss different things. And yeah, that was it.
Where did you do the course, if I may ask?
I did it in, what are they called now? I did it in Mayo. I did it in St. Coleman's College. I think they have a different name now. But yeah, I did it there, basically.
Okay. And you're originally from Mayo?
I am, yeah. I'm in Mayo right now, yeah. But I had been living in Dublin since about 2010, and I just moved home recently.
All right. I suppose, what do you think of the food industry in Ireland? You say restaurants and...
I think since COVID, there's been so many different, challenges for them. But I think the food scene is getting better. There's a lot more different cuisines out there now for people to try. It's come a long way. And I think, especially with COVID, people have had to kind of change how they're doing business. Meal kits have been amazing. I think people have started to really champion kind of their local food, and have been supporting them a lot more maybe than they would have in the past. Yeah, I think the food scene it's coming along. It's certainly a lot better than it used to be.
Yeah, because I only asked that because a few of I know from some of the beer clubs, some of the lads originally from England would say the Indian restaurants wouldn't be as good over here as in England, but I know there's other reasons for that, with bigger population of it, I think.
Yeah, definitely. It's more of a melting pot, but I think, there's, a lot of better Asian restaurants coming out. There's Brazilian restaurants, it is getting better.
Yeah, and more of a market that people are willing to try it, and home cooking kind of took off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Especially with the quarantine, everybody was cooking at home. There were chefs coming out with, who's that guy, Eric Matthews? He's doing the quarantine cook-alongs and the cabin fever classics, and it's really encouraged people to start cooking at home.
Yeah. What's your go-to food then? If you're going to cook something or if you're going to order something?
I like to think I'm quite good at Asian food, whether it's curry or recreate kind of your classic Chinese takeaway dishes. So I've been doing a lot of that recently, and it's probably my go-to.
What's your go-to Irish food then?
I wouldn't be a massive fan now of, your kind of bacon and cabbage or any of that kind of thing. In my house, we rarely eat that kind of food. We'd rarely even eat a potato in our house. We're all kind of rice and noodles, that kind of thing.
Okay. I suppose favorite Irish ingredient. You have to pick one Irish ingredient then. Fish. Russian.
Yeah, I mean we have great fish. Yeah, we do, and I love seafood. When I was living in Dublin, I used to always go to Caveston's, get some great Irish seafood, get some scallops, especially. I love, and there's great oysters here in Ireland as well. They're amazing.
Yeah, I'm allergic to fish, so
okay. So you're missing out.
Yeah. I suppose if you're gonna, I kind of have a beer tell, so I kind of go for your first drink. Cause you said you drink wine, so.
Well, actually, for this evening, I'm having a beer here, just because I knew I was going to be here. I'm having an O'Hara's Tropical IPA.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not big on beer really. Wine is definitely my kind of thing. But my first drink, when I was 18, I went to my local SuperValue and I bought a bottle of Southern Comfort. And I can't drink that anymore. I think I killed myself on that stuff. So that's definitely out the window for me now.
And you wait till you're 18? Just, there was that before that.
Oh, well, yeah. Of course there was.
Yeah,
you'd have your few sneaky drinks. I used to drink Malibu, and I can't touch Malibu anymore either. I must have poisoned myself with that, but I used to always drink Malibu.
Okay. I think a lot of people did start on them things.
Yeah.
We'll go back to earlier life. What were you like at school?
I was really, really bold. I was constantly in trouble. I rarely went to class. Wasn't a great student at all. I was very bold. But I had a lot of friends. Like I got on well with, my friends and stuff, but no, not a good student.
And were you good academically, or?
I was good academically. I was pretty good academically, but I just didn't apply myself at all. I think I was maybe not challenged enough by school, so I just rarely went. Used to spend most of my leaving cert years at home studying rather than going into school. I was quite the truant.
Okay, interesting. Suppose what about college then? Moving on, if you went to college.
I did, yeah. I went to college after my leaving cert, and I did communications in DCU. Did that for about a year and a half, and left the course, and then returned in 2012 and did nursing. So I'm a mental health nurse. And I'm in college at the minute as well. I'm doing postgrad in dementia.
Okay, that's got to be quite interesting, especially with COVID and the effect that was.
Yeah, it was seriously challenging. Resulted in a lot of burnout. So I broke my leg a few weeks ago, so I'm actually having a really nice break from it. But it's been challenging.
And I suppose I don't know too many nurses. Would there be a lot of burnout in the nursing or doctor community, medical community, I should put?
Definitely, and I think it comes from the top down. Especially with COVID. And you had issues with PPE, with getting people tested. That whole regime was just testing, definitely.
And do you think that there will be a huge amount of people leaving the community or the public system because of it now? Or
I imagine had COVID not happened, you would still have a huge amount of nurses leaving the country to go and work in the UK or Australia especially. And so I imagine when travel restrictions are, lifted, people will be going again, because I know that there's a lot of students who just recently graduated who all had plans to leave and go to Australia, but they haven't been able to do it. I think it's just the government, really. It's a whole governmental thing. It's about nurses' pay, especially, is a huge thing for people. So that has a lot to do with it. And
would it be just pay, or would it be conditions?
think that's down to the culture of each hospital, the conditions, and how well management treat their nurses. I don't work in the HSE, so I'm not too sure about that.
Okay.
But I'd say it's a mix of both, definitely.
Right. We'll get back to social media then. What do you think are the good and bad points about Instagram?
So I think it's good that you're able to share what you're passionate about with other kind of like-minded people. That's obviously why I have the page. What's not good about it would probably be Instagram's algorithms, you know, the way they change them to target different things. So they've been pushing really towards reels, which I can't do. I've never done them before. As well, they've changed. Likes used to be important. Now it's about saving the posts and commenting to reach further engagement. So it can be a bit challenging keeping up with what they're going to do next, you know.
Yeah, I think they have a new feature. You can block certain comments or something. I'm not sure if it's in Europe yet, but I think that's coming. I'm not sure. But the spam accounts will get around things like that. They'll use different.
Yeah, I constantly get spam messages all the time. It's a bit frustrating.
Yeah, stop getting if you want the follows or the likes. They seem to have stopped. And then you're on TikTok as well. What do you think of TikTok?
Oh, I'm very technologically illiterate, so I'm just trying my best with TikTok at the minute. I know that's where kind of the younger audience is, so I am trying my best with that. I have Facebook as well, but I don't think people are using Facebook as much as they used to, so that doesn't get as many followers. It's mostly Instagram, I think. I have all the platforms, but yeah, Instagram is for me where I get most kind of interactions and engagement.
What would the one thing you'd change about the platform if you could?
I think it would be great if we could just make sense of the algorithms, and you know, it kind of, for smaller blogs like myself, it makes it harder for our posts to reach certain audiences, whereas you get the influencers who, you know, kind of have exactly, they're getting all the audience.
Are we alone?
I don't in the world, in the universe. I think that's impossible to say. I doubt it. I doubt that we're alone. Yeah, I'm sure that there is another parallel universe out there. Definitely.
Parallel universe. That's kind of different. Who's your hero?
I was thinking about this, and I can only say that my mother, probably. I know it's a bit of a throwaway answer, but my mum, definitely.
Okay. Any reasons why?
I just think she's brilliant, you know. She's my best friend. I never kind of do anything without going to her first. She's always the first person to give me advice. She just always has the right answer.
Who's the better cook?
Probably my mother. Yeah, no, my mum.
Okay.
She was a late bloomer, you know, to the cooking, but she is really good, and she's great at baking. I can't bake at all, but my mum, she's great.
Well, don't you say kind of baking's more scientific? You have to follow the rule or the.
Yeah, and I'm not good at that at all. That's not for me.
3 people who are dead that you would invite to a dinner party. Okay. Celebrities first, and then family and friends.
It'd have to be Anthony Bourdain, 100%.
Okay.
And then I think Jesus, because then we could find out whether he was real or not. You know, if he doesn't show up, there's her answer. And then it sounds bad, but I think Hitler. You know, let's find out what was going on in his head.
You're not the first person to say.
I didn't think I would be. Well, I know it's a bit of a bad answer, but you know, you'd really love to pick a brain like that, because he's just.
Can you speak German then?
there's some issues there, you know, that you'd like to kind of unpick.
Okay. The three families and friends or people you know?
People I know, probably just my friends. It's been a long time since I've been able to sit down with my friends,
Yeah,
you know,
well,
and have. You want me
well,
to name
obviously,
them?
no, the dead people, sorry.
Oh,
That's
dead people
probably...
or living people, living celebrities.
Yeah, you could pick your living celebrities then.
Um, I'd like Banksy, probably. Also, again, find out who he really is. Kirsten Wiig, do you know her? She's quite funny. She does kind of SNL and Oprah, I think.
Okay, a good mix there. Do you wake up happy or sad?
Wake up exhausted most of the time, but I think I'm positive enough. I try to be. I mean, you have to wake up happy, or else if you wake up sad, that's your day written off. So you kind of have to wake up with a good attitude.
Any bad habits?
When I'm nervous, I bite my nails, which is a particularly bad habit, and I smoke as well, which isn't good.
Okay. Have you overcome any bad habits?
I haven't. No, I haven't. There are periods when I can stop biting my nails, but no, it's one I keep. I've been doing it for the last 20 years. I just don't think it's going to stop.
Okay. Do you have any life goals?
Life goals. I'd love to be able to change my career in something to do with food. I think I'd be a lot happier. And I think my ultimate goal is just to do a job that I'm, satisfied in. I think that's most people. But that would be it for me.
So if you won the lotto in the morning, say not enough to survive the rest of your life, like €1,000,000, would you open a restaurant or a cafe or something like that? Or?
I would love to have like a food truck. Just making, like, I love coffee as well, so I'd love, to do great coffee, interesting sandwiches, that kind of thing. My mum can do the baking, I would really love to do something like that.
Okay. And what would your number one thing on the menu be then?
I was thinking about this the other day. We make a really good pastrami, so it'd have to be a Reuben, ferment my own sauerkraut, make my own Russian dressing, get a good supplier for the bread. I think that would be it, a Reuben.
Okay. Perfect day.
Perfect day for me would be have a nice sleep in, wake up, make a really nice breakfast, bit of self-care, then meet some friends for dinner, have some drinks, have a little house party. For me, that's a good day. It's a perfect day.
Okay. Last time you were rejected?
Last time I was rejected, because that's an open word, I think, it was for a job. Although they didn't officially reject me, they just never got back to me, so that was an okay kind of rejection,
If you
didn't really want the job either, so, it's grand.
Do you have any tattoos?
I do have a few tattoos, yeah. I have, if you can see them on my arm there, some really terrible stars that I got when I was 16. So we'll get those lasered off at some point. I have a frog on my arm. I don't think you can see it. No, not really. No, can't get the angles. It's a frog anyway. It's a frog wearing a sombrero and holding a gun. I've got a nurse on my other arm with the date that I registered to be a nurse. I have a mermaid. I have a gramophone. I have an origami crane. And, I've got Michelangelo. Michelangelo's David.
Okay.
And I have a couple on my leg that aren't, particularly
Okay.
exciting. There's no real story to them.
Is there any story to any of the tattoos? Is there any meaning behind them?
Not at all. No. This one I got in Germany by a famous artist called he's called Handjob Tattoo. So he's well known for doing those tattoos. So that's the only one. The nurse has got obviously significance. And that's it. Yeah, I was meant to get 3 during lockdown, but they never happened with the closures. So I'm waiting to get 3 more.
Okay. What are they going to be, if I could ask?
I'm going to get a coffee cup. I'm going to get a pig, but you know, with the butcher cuts done on them, and a scorpion.
Okay. What kind of coffee are you into? I don't drink coffee. I tried a couple of times. I can't.
I don't take any sugar. I usually drink a cortado, so that it's an espresso with just a really small amount of steamed milk, so that you can taste, you know, the flavors of the coffee and everything. I think that's important. And that's how I drink my coffee. And there's some really good roasteries now in Ireland. There's so many now. Usually I drink 3FE or Cloud Picker. They're probably like the main ones that everybody knows. They're always good quality.
Yeah. Do you have any fancy coffee machines or?
Not at the moment. When I was in Dublin, I had a lovely kind of Sage machine, cost about €600. But I'm back home in Mayo now. We just have, what do we have? We have a coffee machine. It's like one of those Nescafe ones. Yeah, nothing too fancy.
Okay. What's the lowest point of your life?
What was the lowest point of my life? I think probably this year wasn't the best for me. Actually, we'll say last year wasn't the best for me. Had a breakup, had to move out of the house I was living in, had to kind of recoup and get back to life. That was probably it. I haven't had too many major lows, thankfully. Pretty blessed.
Okay. Do you have any pet peeves?
Pet peeves. Probably just people, in terms of food, people with kind of bad table manners, like poor table etiquette, that always bothers me. And it would be like a massive deal breaker for me. Otherwise, I think I'm pretty laid back. Don't get too aggravated about things.
Okay. We'll go on to first mobile phone.
I got a Sony Ericsson when I think I was 11 or 12. It was like a big piece of turf. It was huge.
Okay. First car, if you have a car.
Yeah. So I learned to drive when I was 16, and then my dad gave me his old Daewoo. I don't even think they make them anymore. It was a Daewoo Lanos. I think they were like some South Korean car company. I don't think they make them anymore.
Yeah. Okay. Did you crash it?
No, I went to college. I went to Dublin and I didn't need it anymore. So that was the end of that. I did. My dad had a car. He had a Toyota Ventus. And when I was reversing out of our driveway, I reversed the whole side of it into a trailer. So that's the worst damage I've done to a car. He wasn't too happy about that at all.
Okay, sure. Accidents happen.
I bet they happen. Yeah, it's grand.
Politics.
I don't follow politics. Like I do, obviously, I kind of know the basics. But I would be, if I was to vote, I would vote Sinn Féin. I think we need to do away with the government that we have now. Definitely.
Do you think they would have done a better job if they're in power?
I think they didn't realize how. I don't think they realized just how well they were going to perform. And if they had just put out more candidates, I think we would have a Sinn Féin government right now. I'm not sure how well they would have done, but I just think we need a change from what we had. Like Leo was doing pretty well in the beginning, but no, I just think we need something new.
Okay. And would anything make you change your mind about Sinn Féin? Just curious. Would a candidate in your area, if you just didn't like them,
I think I would just vote Sinn Féin. I think that's just definitely. Because at a local level, I mean, you have to think of what they can do on a national level, and I just think Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael wouldn't be for me. Not anymore, anyway.
Okay. What motivates you to work? Other than money.
What motivates me to work? Other than money. Yeah. I just think if you're challenged in your work and you're satisfied at the end of the day, that's what motivates me.
Okay. Favorite family tradition?
When we haven't really done it in the last couple of years, but whenever Glastonbury would be on, we'd all get into my mum and dad's bed. I've got a brother. We'd all get into mum and dad's bed, stay up late and watch Glastonbury. I think that was definitely my favourite family tradition.
Okay. Any favourite bands or moments from that? Can you remember?
No, they're not my favourite band, but I always remember it was always quite special when like Coldplay would play. But no, not that I can remember. It's been a while now since we've all been able to fit into the one bed.
Okay. What kind of music do you listen to?
I think I've got like an eclectic mix of music. I really like chill wave kind of music, psychedelic pop. But I'll listen to anything at all. I'll listen to Johnny Cash. I'll listen to house music. Whatever it is. I've got a playlist of classical music that I listen to, all sorts of different things. And I work with patients that have dementia, so I've got a little 50s and 60s playlist. So, wide variety of music that I listen to, definitely.
Do you play any instruments?
I used to play piano, and I think I was quite good at it, but I haven't played anything in a long, long time. I think I can just about remember the scales on the piano, but I would love to start trying to play again. It's a shame. I used to hate it as a child, and now I wish that I'd kept going with it. I think we all do things like that. Would have loved to have played guitar. I wish somebody would have taught me how to play guitar. I can try.
Amazon's there, you can buy your first guitar tonight.
Here we go.
First crush.
First crush.
Yeah. Celebrity or real life.
I used to fancy Justin Timberlake, when he was in NSYNC. Used to be in love with him. Yeah, that was definitely the first one.
Okay, first one in real life then.
Real life. Probably when I was in primary school. God, I can't remember. I wouldn't want to shame them either, to be fair.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I don't. No. Never been that kind of person.
Okay. What do you eat for breakfast?
I never eat breakfast. Ever. Today, my first meal of the day was dinner. So, yeah, I'm pretty bad like that. If I was at work, my first meal would be lunchtime. I'd be up since 6 a.m. Lunchtime at 12. So, never been a breakfast person.
Okay. If I had a plane ticket to anywhere in the world right now and COVID was gone, you could travel, where would you go to?
I'd probably go to Iceland. Iceland has been somewhere that I've wanted to go for the last few years and just never got a chance to. I was hoping to do it this year. Obviously, it's not going to happen, but I'd want to go to Iceland, definitely.
Would you be more of a cold person or a sun person?
I cannot do the sun at all. I went on a holiday to Lisbon a couple of years ago and I absolutely hated it. The heat was just way too much. My family, we'd go on holidays to like Poland during Christmas time, which is lovely because it's nice and snowy. I would way prefer that.
What's the last thing you Googled?
What is the last thing I Googled? Oh my God. What? Hang on a second. I probably Googled something really... I Googled a recipe. That's what I Googled.
What was the recipe?
I was trying to figure out how much butter to put into my buffalo sauce. That was it. Thank God it wasn't something awful.
You can tell me. There's no one watching.
Oh God.
What's the last lie you told?
It was definitely... I ordered something online and I think I lied about the price of it so that nobody would judge me.
Favorite dessert?
Probably a burnt Basque cheesecake or some kind of baked cheesecake. That's my favorite.
What was your favorite present ever?
A few years ago, my mum got me a necklace and it had courage written on it. That was my favorite gift.
Okay. Cat or dog? I think I know the answer, but...
Yeah, dog, definitely. Yeah, I have a little dog and yeah, love my dogs.
Favorite family member?
You know, I'm not going to lie. My mother, again. My mother, yeah. Sorry now, Dad.
Any regrets?
Maybe I regret not going into or studying for a career that I really, really wanted, but, you know, I still enjoy being a nurse, so
Okay.
Don't regret too much.
That's good. Biggest fear? I think I asked that, did I?
No, you didn't. Biggest fear. I mean, I have small fears, like I hate moths. They really scare me. Fear, maybe being alone forever. I don't know, something like that. Ending up alone.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
How would a friend describe you in 3 words? Not your mother and father, though.
No, my friends. Yeah, I have friends.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
They would describe me, I'm sure, as being funny, sarcastic, loyal. I think that's how I could be best described.
Okay. When were you most selfish?
Probably like in relationships. I think that's when your selfishness comes out, doesn't it? It's when somebody sees the worst and the best in you. Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm not. I think I'm not great at compromising, so that's a bit selfish.
Yeah, but that doesn't tell me when you were most selfish.
When? Oh my God. When was I most selfish? I think I've been pretty nice lately. I can't remember.
Okay. Glass half full or half empty?
I would love to say half full, but like realistically, it's half empty. I'm a very like cynical person, you know. I generally see the worst in things before I see the best in things. So, yeah.
Okay. 3 things you take to a desert island.
I would take a knife. I would take a saucepan, and I would take some flint to light some fires.
Okay. Do you think you survive on a desert island?
No, I do not.
Okay. Favorite movie?
My favorite movie is probably Juno. Do you know Juno?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite movie. When I was in college, I had a film class, and they asked us to pick a movie. So most people picked like Alfred Hitchcock. I picked Juno.
Okay. Craziest thing you've ever done?
I wish I have done more crazy things. Like I think I'm pretty tame. Um,
There's got to be
eh,
something. We've all done something.
I think the worst thing or like the craziest thing, went to a nightclub in Germany, got kicked out at 3 a.m., ended up in an ambulance. A bit crazy. I don't know.
Okay. Believe in Santi.
Believe in who?
Santi.
Believe in Santi. No. I think I stopped believing in Santa when I was about 8.
That's good.
Yeah.
What would, if I had you standing in front of your 16-year-old self, what would you tell them?
Tell myself to do what makes me happy and not what I think makes the people around me happy. And apply it to everything. Like everything. Apply it to what you wear, what you do, what you study, you know?
Okay. Anyway, favorite place to live in Ireland then? Dublin or is it Mayo?
Up until recently, I would have said Dublin just because it has so much to offer. But now that I'm at home, I just couldn't ever imagine spending €800 on rent ever again. I think that I'm going to have to try and push my love of Dublin aside and try and get happy in the countryside where I might actually be able to afford a house in the future, you know?
Okay. Any question that you would ask yourself? It's an open-ended question.
What's any question I would ask myself? Would I know the answer to it, or is it just a question that I'm asking myself?
Yeah, that's the
Just like,
idea. Like,
will you ever grow up? I don't know.
when did you know you were grown up?
I'm not grown up yet, and I know I'm not grown up yet. Like, I get afraid of going to the post office and going to the bank. Like, I still get my dad to do the NCT on my car. Like, I am way too immature. I should have been grown up maybe about 5 years ago, but no. I'm 29 and I'm still a child.
Okay. Superpowers. What would your superpower be?
I'd love to be invisible.
Okay. Is there any reason why?
Just so you could get away with a lot, couldn't you? You could say you could rob a bank, nobody would know. You could sneak into conversations that are about you and nobody would know, and you get to, know what everybody else thinks about you.
Okay. Extrovert or introvert?
I think I would call myself an introvert. I think I'm a little bit difficult to know until you get to know me. My close friends would probably say I'm an extrovert, but for me, I think I'm quite shy.
Okay, but you've come on here and you've talked and answered
I
questions.
know, yeah. I have fear
Karaoke.
though, you know.
Karaoke. What would you sing at karaoke then?
I would have to rap something because I cannot sing, and I would probably do like a Mac Miller song.
Okay. Would you rather, or have you ever shot a gun? Sorry, getting
No,
questions.
but I would love to. I'd love to give it a go.
Would you hurt someone? Open-ended question again.
I would defend myself or family or my dog and
So,
inflict hurt if I had to.
so if someone had a gun to one of your family members and told you you had to go kill someone, or they kill them, would you? Could you?
Could I? I don't know. Would I? In theory, probably. Depends.
Okay. Does depend on the family member, or
No, it depends on who. Oh, let's be real. No, you'd have to. If somebody said, "I'm going to kill your mum or your dad," you would have to do it, wouldn't you?
Okay, you're the only person I think who has said that. But
Oh, really? So they're all
yeah.
they're all just letting their family get slaughtered, like, oh, bad.
Yeah, I think so. But then situations. Worst nightmare.
Like my actual worst nightmares.
You're actually.
Okay. So like when I'm asleep, my nightmares. I have dreams of my teeth falling out. I think that's common. I think that's a thing. But like my teeth, if I wake up with a dream with my teeth are falling out, and you can almost like feel it, they're always bad.
Yeah.
I have them a lot.
And would you think there is a deeper meaning to that?
I think I have looked it up in the past, and apparently it's a really, really common dream that people have. So I still don't know what it means, but I just know that a lot of people actually have them as well.
Okay. Yeah, sounds a bit weird, but I never heard of falling teeth. But then again,
Well, I am a bit weird, you know.
yeah. Well, who are you talking to? Yeah, I think a lot of questions you've answered, or the other ones, are a bit null and void. Yeah. Yeah, I think I've done with questions.
Fair enough. So next time I'll interview you.
No, that doesn't happen. Sorry.
You'll have to give something away, you know.
Yeah, I give lots away. I ask questions.
That's true. That's true. You are quite good.
These absolutely insane questions that people say are intense, weird, dreadful. They say a lot of good things about questions.
No, I liked it. It was a good mix. I've never been asked half of these questions before, so it was good. Thanks very much for inviting me. We appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for coming. And we will say goodbye to everyone who's watching, or no one who's watching. Thank you for watching. Sorry if I'm informed that I will see you next Friday or in some other live stream. Bye. And we'll end broadcast. There.